This is Annalise Jarvis. This is Ajay Sczepkowski. Last year they won their sport's highest award, and recently they sat down to discuss the DNA of the Player of the Year.
Hey AJ.
What's going on?
What's up? Today I want to talk a little bit about your journey and how you grew up, and I want to know a little bit about how you came to GGC and how you got so good.
So I'm from a little town called Shillington, Pennsylvania. It's right outside of Reading. So if you ever played Monopoly, the Reading Railroad. But yeah, it's just a small little town, pretty blue collar, northern. Grew up playing a lot of sports and had an older brother that kind of guided me into the sport world. Kind of followed him at a young age playing basketball, and then that kind of followed into football and baseball. I was always kind of out there with him and his age group. He was 2 years older than me, kind of playing with them. And just kind of flourished into the love for athletics and sports.
All right, so you said you played a lot of sports. Did you baseball was always your favorite? And more importantly, what was your family's favorite? Did your parents have a favorite sport you played?
So my dad was a big basketball player. He actually ran track and field. He was a high jumper, so that was kind of a letdown to him, seeing me play baseball all the time, but he loved it. He was always a part of the journey with me. And yeah, I think my brother was kind of a big influence in getting into different sports and just really finding the love for just being an athlete as a whole.
So you've obviously had a really awesome journey coming to GGC. You've been to previous schools in the past, so tell me about that. So how did you get here?
So my journey started with out of high school. I was a little bit under-recruited, not a very talented player, was just kind of athletic. And I went to my first baseball camp at Hartford Community College, and at the time I had no idea what Hartford was. Played very well and was talking to a bunch of bigger schools, but it was already late in my senior year. My grades weren't good, so they didn't have opportunities for me at other schools. And then the Hartford coach came up to me and basically offered me a spot and a chance to play college baseball, which I jumped on right away. Was there for a long 4 years. My first year was kind of unfortunate with injury. I ended up redshirting, so I went back for my second year, which got injured one more time, but just didn't play too well off the beginning of the season, and then had a very short season, didn't play much, so I went back for that third year, my redshirt sophomore year, which ended up being COVID. So it was 3 years down and hadn't played really a full season of baseball. So I went back for that fourth year, which was kind of unheard of in the JUCO world, but ended up getting a good opportunity to go play at Charleston Southern, a Division I school, which was kind of my dream to begin with. And things didn't really work out for me there, and then got a great opportunity from GGC and Sheets to come play for the Grizzlies.
Yeah, so as you were looking in high school and then in your transfer process, do you feel like what you were looking for in a school changed, or do you feel like you had very values that you looked for in every single school that you hit?
Yeah, so I think off the bat in high school, every kid's dream is to play Division I baseball and go compete at a high level.
Yep.
And the standards you don't really understand what you're looking for in a standard aspect.
Yep.
From the school and the organization you're playing for, but it really hit home when I was at my Division I, and what it meant to be a Division I player wasn't worth the losing. For better words, I guess. Losing baseball is very draining, and the team aspect of it was very important to me, and I figured that out really quick while I was there. And when I came here and was on the phone with Sheets and they were telling me about this school, it really hit home that was what I was looking for as a baseball player.
Yeah, so what about this team is different?
Just the family. I mean, this team is so close. There's 34 kids on this team that I'll consider my brothers for the rest of my life. Every person in this program, not including just the baseball team or the coaches, but the staff here, everyone that's employed at this school is just a good person, and being around good people every day only makes you want to strive to be a better person.
Yeah. So talk a little bit about what you had to overcome, not only as a baseball player, but as a person as well, being kind of the new kid on 3 different teams. So what does that look like?
It was challenging. That's something that is just part of the process, being able to meet new people and be personable. But some of the challenges I endured during baseball were just fighting through and overcoming injury. I tore my labrum my freshman year, which was what made me redshirt. And then going into that second year at Hartford, I tore my meniscus, which kind of set me back for the beginning of that season, which kind of led into that 3-season long drought of not playing baseball since high school, but a lot of that struggle also came with just finding yourself as a person along the way.
Right.
And when I got to GGC, it was kind of by grace that I found God. There were a lot of good people here, and that was kind of the big thing when I got here that really helped me become a better person, was the people that were here pushing me to become better in my faith.
Yeah. Well, it's awesome. Kind of deep question. Do you regret not going to GGC if you had the opportunity to go to GGC, do you regret not taking it?
Regret's a strong word. I think it would have been awesome to be able to be here a little sooner, but we talk about it all the time. The twisted path is sometimes the best path.
Right.
And even like Proverbs 3:5-6, trust in the Lord with all your heart, lean not on your own understanding, in his ways follow him, and he shall guide your paths. It's kind of been my motto throughout being here. It's like some of those times at Hartford or at Charleston, I wish I could have been at a program like this, but that's kind of made me the person I am now, going through those hardships and being able to reflect on those to bring with me.
All right, so last question for kind of talking about the journey of how you got here. Why is it always a great day to be a Grizzly?
Ooh, there's a lot of times where it's 75 and the sun's shining in Lawrenceville. So yeah, this state, this school, this entire program, it's always a great day to be a Grizzly, seeing all the people smiling around
Right.
campus and at this athletics facility.